show.
We have such sights to show you.
Welcome back to the Double Movie View It horror podcast. I'm Jesse Spitzer.
And I'm J.R. Lees.
And this week we're talking about The Mummy, specifically wasn't Lee Cronin's The Mummy. I think
Lee Cronin's The Mummy
is the official title for Brendan Fraser reasons. But yeah, I saw this for the first time about 3 hours ago, and
okay.
I'm a little lukewarm on it. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I far from hated it. But I don't want to start negative. So let's start with your take on it. How did you?
Okay. I did not see this theatrically. I wanted to because a friend of mine really loves Evil Dead Rise. I'm talking about you. Okay. And so I had a soft spot for it. And then when they went from, and I was confused too, because there's the Dark Universe Tom Cruise, there's the Brendan Fraser thing supposed to be happening. Mm-hmm. And so when I heard about this one, I thought, oh, is this going to be, what version is it? How are they going to differentiate it? And then it became Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Mm. And I thought, oh, that's that poor guy, because that's not something you want to pull on your first solo movie. And I've always had this soft spot for it. So like I'm the underdog guy. I'm the underdog. I love Friday the 13th Part 5. I dig Phantasm like 3 and 2 and 3. You know, I always the ones that not that I like ones that no one else likes. I get the ones that people crap on.
Sure.
And I'm like, every movie's a miracle. And so as soon as they're getting make fun of for calling it Lee Cronin's The Mummy, mm-hmm. Who the hell is Lee Cronin? And I'm like, he's the guy. And then there's an interview with him where he goes, yeah, Blum and came up to me and said, hey, do you want to call it this? And I had the weekend to think about it. I'm like, well, it's that or call it that or Shadow of the Mummy. And no one's going to know what it is anyway. Mm-hmm. So that being said, I went into it as an underdog supporter and I loved it. Okay. We weren't watching it for the show. It was just something that popped up to rent finally. I'm going into it and it has the guy from Midsummer who he's kind of a blank slate. So you can kind of imprint on him. Mm-hmm. I'm a big Evil Dead fan, and I made jokes of this as Evil Dead, The Mummy.
Yeah.
But the thing was, I went in with very low expectations, and it is too long, but I have recommended this thing so many times. I love that family dynamic, mm-hmm. And again, everyone in it is a little bit blank slatey, so you can print on it how you want. I bet you $1 that I dug it more than you did for throughout the entire thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I went into it completely blind. I didn't even know like the reception, like the audience reception or the critical reception or anything like that. I think I had a little bit of higher hopes probably than you did going into it, which probably skewed my opinion a little bit. My biggest thing, I'm glad. So the one thing I knew going into it was what you had told me was that this was very Evil Dead. And I'm glad you told me that. Because if I didn't know that going into it, then it would have annoyed me more, I think. Because it is very Evil Dead Rise. Like there's like the scene when they're sitting there listening to the audio tape. I'm like, this is that scene again. Like so I like family dynamics in horror movies and stuff. Mm-hmm. I just feel like this movie was just a little bit shallow, and it was a little bit trying to be a lot of different things, and none of which felt very Mummy-like.
See, now that's the thing is, all valid, but the not Mummy-like is probably why I liked it. Mm-hmm. And let's get back to that real fast for a synopsis. Again, this is weird giving a wrap up because it's going to be filled with spoilers.
Yeah.
But the plot is, it jumps around in time. No, not jumps. It starts like 8 years in the past in Egypt. If I'm getting any of these towns wrong, I apologize. In the past, and a family is who is very, very stiff, and the dad's fun and the mom's strict, but she kind of looks in the back, and the kids are all being kind of silly. It's kind of a beautiful moment. I think it's all closed caption or subtitled. Mm-hmm. And then bad stuff happens. Like a demon shows up, very, 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 Blumhouse, very, very Insidious kind of thing.
Sure.
James Wan. And then it jumps to another family in Cairo, and he's a reporter. This is the American family, so we have our characters.
Right.
So he's there. He's got his wife, his pregnant wife, his little daughter, and his young son, the younger son. They're down there, and he's there to be like I guess they don't say where it's a made up network, but like a CNN,
Sure.
reporter.
On the
And then he gets
on the ground reporter.
on the ground, like he's there from the field office in Cairo.
Mhm.
And then again, and they do a lot in there to set up the family dynamic that she's a nurse or a doctor, he's a reporter, a journalist, and then when they get it set up, then bad stuff happens, and the daughter is kidnapped. This is what they're showing us, and what you find out later on. There's more to than a kidnapping.
Sure.
And then he big action scene that he's chasing very Tom Cruise. He's running through the alleys to get his daughter, and I'm sitting there going, oh, and I know it's a movie because I'm watching a movie. And I'm still hoping I know that if he gets his daughter, the movie's over.
Right.
So, but I'm still hoping he catches the kid because he's being, in the back of a bike or whatever.
Mhm.
And then the thing that surprised me was they jump ahead 7 or 8 years.
In a beautiful, like the way that they revealed the 8 years later was so good.
Oh yeah, and it's a sadly painful movie. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like it a lot because it cuts from they're talking to the police and they're like giving them information about the daughter, and then it cuts to a broadcast of like a news broadcast, and they're like, we have breaking news this morning, and you think it's going to be a report about the missing girl, but they're like, there's going to be a traffic change or something about traffic, like something really mundane, and then it cuts to the dad watching the thing, and there's a subtitle that says 8 years later, and I was like, oh, that's so well done. Like that's such a great misdirect there.
Yeah, like because he was the star of the news, and this is going to be now in a which again, we both worked in TV.
Yeah,
the fact that he's now a producer, which to most people sounds, oh, he's a producer, he's great, but in the reality is he's just a producer.
Yeah,
he's not the star of the show anymore. So then it's set. They've gone back to America, Albuquerque. I don't know why. It's like a Bugs Bunny thing. I gotta keep saying it, and it's just for me so incredibly sad. And I'm so happy that they didn't show more of them being sad for 8 years.
Yeah,
because it's like it's one of those things where you can set them up so you care about them, and then you don't have to torture the audience by torturing the characters. It's ridiculously sad that the little boy's grown up, the baby, the pregnant, the baby's been born, the sister's missing, the room is being kept intact.
Yeah,
because they're hoping they don't think she's dead. They just think she's missing, even though they're kind of coming to terms. And then the movie starts, and a plane. They're gonna flood a basin or a valley, and there's more details. And then a plane crashes, and then they get a report to the family that we found your daughter. Oh, okay. And then they're breaking down because this is, of course, they've been waiting the entire time. Oh, it's hard to watch.
Yep.
And even though they're saying that she's alive and they're hoping that they're always having faith. When they get the report from the police, we found your daughter, they just break down, and it's not breaking down in joy. They don't say it, but they're sad because it's like the whole time they know she's dead. In their hearts, they know she's dead, and now it's over. And then no, hey, what? They were
Sorry.
trying to wake me up.
No.
She's alive. And then the line, and again, it's the movie. I should know it's coming. No, we found her. She's alive, and she was in a 3,000-year-old sarcophagus.
Yeah.
And but the beauty is they don't go, what? They just go, okay, my daughter's alive, and then they rush back to Egypt, and then it's one of those things where they don't show everything. They set it up that the mom is in medicine, just so he can take care of him. They skip I think it's 8 weeks, the 2 months when they're rehabbing the daughter because she's alive, but she's not. She's not the little girl. She's not frozen in time. She is like a 17-year-old or 16-year-old girl, but she looks like she's never walked in her life. Like she's been in this box for 8 years, just atrophied. The skin is just, gross, and the eyes misshapen. Like she's never seen sunlight. It's such a good makeup that I'm watching going, okay, is it an effect? And then that's the one distraction I had was like, is that a makeup effect or is that a computer effect? And then after a while you stop. I've stopped giving it. I watch the movie. But again, this is why I like it. They skip the 8 weeks of her in Egypt just to get her home, have the movie start. They don't make us be tortured by the same thing in Pet Sematary. They don't go into the detail that the book did of Gage's funeral. They just in the movie Pet Sematary, I didn't move. Well, the second movie didn't have that kid. They
Right.
skip the parts that really are hard to watch to make it still be a fun movie, because no one's walking out of Lee Cronin's The Mummy and then it's Kramer versus Kramer or it's Terms of Endearment. It's not a drama. It's meant to be fun.
Mhm.
But they had the balls to put it up against the backdrop of like the worst thing happened to his family ever, and it's like that sad horror movie, which is kind of like the marks of the 2020s, sad horror movies.
Yeah, yeah, trauma and especially like family related trauma.
Mhm.
I
It's
think.
it's the modern day. Let's have Hereditary, run across Midsummer, and then we'll just while we're there, we'll stop by and we'll swing by the Mummy here.
Yeah.
But uh,
Hold on one second. Oh my god, I got something in my throat.
is it a scorpion?
Mm.
That's a little spoiler for you guys.
Sorry, go ahead.
So anyway, so now we're kind of caught up, and it's what happens is the girl. It's spoiler territory for a movie that's been out for a while. It's on HBO. Um, the daughter that now is in the house and she's very weak, but she's clearly not the daughter. She's messed up.
Yeah.
Just she can't talk very well. She's very weak, and then you get the sense that she is. I mean, again, the movie's called The Mummy, and a lot of the flack I've heard about it is it's not a mummy movie, it's a possession movie, or it's an Evil Dead movie.
Mhm.
And that's where I kind of go, well, it doesn't forget the title. It's the movie it's supposed to be, but also I'm not a big fan of mummy movies. I mean, I like Brendan Fraser. The Boris Karloff one, it was always like the second class Dracula.
Yeah.
The Mummy's great in Monster Squad, but it's also but also is a mummy. It's a zombie, or is it
Right.
is it undead? Is it revived somehow? Is it have to be a pharaoh? Does it have to be like someone that was tortured and put in the ground? I love the
It's
mythology that they made for this. Go ahead.
yeah, it's definitely the lamest, I think, of the like the monsters, like the capital M monsters. It's like, oh, it's a zombie with bandages around him,
Yeah, and that's the thing is like the bandages, because the Brendan Fraser ones don't have bandages.
right?
I've not seen the Tom Cruise one, but even the Boris Karloff one, the bandages aren't on as long as you think they are. The Hammer one with Christopher Lee keeps him on most of the time, but then he has to just walk slow. You have to have a slow mummy.
Hmm.
The best mummy is in waxwork. It's the Zach Galligan movie. But that's just because it's a bunch of different monsters in the background. So for me, the mummy aspect and the Evil Dead comparison, because oh no, it's a possession movie. It's an exorcist movie. And I'm like, well, it's all kind of the same thing. It's just the mummy is just a zombie with band-aids. And when I was growing up, Evil Dead was called a zombie movie. It was in the same shelf as Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead,
Sure.
until it had enough movies where it became its own thing.
Hmm.
And I never think of Evil Dead as being possession, but here it really is. The girl's possessed because the whole plot is he's find out that the good guys, quote unquote, have trapped this demon inside of the girl, inside the sarcophagus.
Hmm.
And that's what they do is a person can hold on. They trap this entity inside of a human host, wrap them up, bind them up. It's a great scene.
Hmm.
And then lock them away until the body's deteriorated, and then when the body passes away, they get another host, and they've been doing this for 3,000 years.
Yeah, and I
And I
love
love
I love all of that. I think
that.
that's such a great setup for a premise, like for a
Oh, and they don't explain it, because
yeah.
then and also at the end, there's no scene where the heroes figure out how to save the day. This again, spoiler alert for what should have been 10 minutes from now, but I'm saying it now. My favorite part is they don't beat they the way they wrap up the movie is not the white guys figured out what the Egyptians couldn't for 3,000 years. They
Yeah.
just they replicate what they saw
Yeah,
before.
they cope. They have to
Cope is exactly the word.
yeah, yep. They're like, okay, well, this is the situation we've been handed. How do we handle this? And I really like the very end of this movie. The little again, we're kind of in spoilers now. We kind of transitioned into spoilers subtly there. But just like the revenge aspect of it at the very end, I think was really cool. And I like how all the characters, come together to even like the cop is just like, well, I'm in this mess now, so I guess I'm gonna help this family out.
Yeah. I was going into this one because it kind of had it's hooks into me of how this movie works so well for me, and it is okay. Again, we're past spoiler warnings. The ending, they figure out that the girl is possessed. They figure out with the help of the cop and they realize that she is wearing bandages. It's just someone else's skin, or it's
Ugh.
writings on her. They
Yeah.
peel it away, and it's so gross to realize it's not supposed to be her skin. It's actually
Ugh.
just like a
Yeah.
layer of gauze. So smart, and it makes you think, oh, that's just like, no, here's what we're gonna do. I love the ending, how they just figure out enough that the dad can be the next host, and it's a very down ending. It's kind of what the movie deserves. The whole story is about it's not going to be happy. There's no happy ending here, right?
Mm.
And then I was listening to the interview with again Lee Cronin of Lee Cronin's Mummy, how they had a down ending and it was satisfying and it wasn't a win. And then everyone kind of goes to because it wasn't an expensive movie. It was just that they needed to make back the 25 million.
Sure.
It goes, let's give it a little bit more of an upbeat so that when people leave, they can be happier, because they're not going to be happy no matter what. Because it's kind of like the end of Cujo. Yay, it's not a happy
Right.
ending. So they didn't tack it on. I think they very organically have an ending where the revenge thing.
Mm-hmm.
They find the lady that kidnapped the girl in the beginning. The dad has been locked away in a sarcophagus. They've been trying to talk to him the whole time. You know, he's there, but they trap the woman who trapped the daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and they trap her. They trap the demon in her, and it's this big win.
Yeah.
For the most messed up family ever, and there better not be a sequel, because I want to believe that they're happy. But the sequel, to be honest, the sequel needs to be 2.5 hours of them just in therapy. You know?
Yeah. If it was gonna be accurate, yeah. Yeah. So I think my big complaint when it comes to this not feeling very Mummy-esque, because I agree, I think the Mummy as a character is kind of lame. Just as a monster is like not that interesting, but I do like the things that surround mummies. I like curses and tombs and pyramids, things like that. I feel like this movie at a certain point, it just completely, once she's out of that coffin, it's like we're done with the mummy aspect entirely. Like we're not even gonna brush shoulders with any like symbolic stuff from the mummy. I don't know what's going on in my throat today. Goddamn.
it's Scorpion, I'm telling you.
Yeah. I guess, oh, you know what? There are scorpions and bugs going in people. That's very mummy-esque. But yeah, I love the premise for this. I wish that there's so many scenes in this that felt like they were from like just other movies. I feel like this movie just kind of lacks its own identity. I think is maybe my main qualm with it. The scene where she gets abducted is very much like it.
Yeah.
The you know, the in the drain with what the hell is that kid's name? Billy?
You think Georgie?
Georgie, yeah. I was like, no, it's a generic child name. Yeah, the there was another scene also that I was like, oh, this is very much like it's very Exorcist.
Very. There's a lot of Exorcist in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the ending, the plot at the ending is now to spoil The Exorcist from 50 years ago. Father Karen, he take me, and he pulls the demon into him and jumps out the window.
Yeah,
it's the same idea. You know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just I really did like I liked a lot of this movie, but I think that was just my main problem was like as I was watching it, I kept kind of seeing all these different things kind of pulled from other movies. Obviously, Hereditary. I think that's probably the sloppiest stuff in my opinion on this movie. I didn't think the family drama was done very well. I feel like there was a lot of setup and not a lot of payoff. Mm-hmm. I think that they could have dived into another interesting thing is like I think this movie was a little too long. I think we can agree. It was
I agree.
Yeah, it needed to be trimmed up, but at the same time, I wish it was kind of meatier in the runtime that it did have, because there was, for instance, the brother knows about the Layla, I think her name is, the little girl that's friends with the sister. She's kind of getting groomed. She's getting groomed for like a few weeks before she gets kidnapped by this little girl. The daughter of the kidnapper is feeding her like candy bars through a fence, and the brother knows about it. And I thought that was going to have like a payoff of like, oh, he's probably going to feel guilty
forever.
Not saying anything to anybody, but that's never touched on again. And then I feel like both parents in this were a little bit too nonchalant about everything. like obviously they're looking for answers, but like the dad even suggests for a moment, like, hey, maybe we should like put her somewhere where she can get like proper treatment because this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
not going well. And the mom's like, oh, you don't think I can handle this? And it's like, well, and then his retort to that is like, that turns into like a big argument, and he's just kind of like, oh, why didn't you know about her friend Layla giving her candy bars through a fence? It's like, bro, you didn't know either until like 14 seconds before she was kidnapped.
Yeah, yeah.
uh, so I don't know. There's just in some of this might be a little nitpicky, and I feel like that's also I always try not to be too nitpicky, but I also kind of recognize that if I'm being nitpicky with a movie, it's because the movie hasn't drawn me in. Like
Mhm.
I think this movie really lost me, or it didn't lose me, but it was the beginning of me like starting to kind of sniff out these little inconsistencies or these little things I didn't really love. Was
Mhm.
this because I think sorry, I got so many thoughts going on. I think the script needed some work. I think some of the writing was a little clunky, and I think that it could have used a few more drafts. The one thing that came to mind, and that was the first time where I was like, "Well, that doesn't. Why did they do it this way? It's kind of bizarre."
Mhm.
Is during the interrogation. I guess it's not really an interrogation, but they're giving the information to the police, and there's the junior officer who later becomes like the main cop
Mhm.
in the 8 years later, and then her superior is like super suspicious of the family and is like, oh, it's probably they probably killed her on accident or whatever, and they're making it look like an abduction. And he's speaking a different language than he's not speaking English, so the junior officer is kind of translating between the two. And despite that, the dad knows exactly what the other cop is saying, and it was like, why didn't they just have him speak English? Like it's just such a like a weird little. I know it's very small and
Mhm.
unimportant, but it's just one of those things that there's a lot of these little moments of just like, why, like if you're gonna have the dad be like, oh, what, you think I did this? Like,
Yeah.
why have that language barrier there? Because I thought that was kind of interesting that the guy was able to just openly accuse them in front of them without them knowing, but then they do know anyways, just I guess based off the tone of his voice, maybe.
I think that's
Um,
supposed to be the tone of the voice, but yeah, that is. I always wondered, like they're gonna surprise us with her coming back, like her coming back 8 years later
mhm.
as the hero cop
Yeah,
who never gave up on him is
yeah,
like her moment, kind of early in the movie.
yeah, and I like that she doesn't have a moment of like apprehension. Like she's
Mhm.
like when he calls her is like, hey, she gave me a name, it's Layla, I know it's not much to go on. She's like, okay, well, let's dive into this. Like, do you know anyone
Yeah,
named
yeah.
Layla? Like, she is always on their side, which I really like. There's no
Mhm.
like animosity or antagonism there. There's not really all the humans in this pretty much are working together the whole time,
Yeah, yeah,
minus the kidnapper, and even she is like doing it for the greater good.
yeah. Which is just not fair to this family, but it's still the world needs to have this thing put away. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Um, but
Let's-
I know I'm being very negative right now. I'm trying to speed run kind of through the qualms I had so we can get back into the things that I do enjoy. But yeah, go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I know. Some of those kind of bits right there. I do think that it's not the strongest. The Jack Rayner guy. Um, he is asked to do a lot,
Mhm.
and I don't know if it's within his grasp because
Yeah,
he's asked to show all these different facets, and he's being asked to do it in a way that's not a movie. He's supposed to be internal because there's never the big scene where he's not without my kid and he doesn't get to have like the Harrison Ford fighting for the thing.
sure.
And then when they have the pop-ups when the facts are coming at him or even the family strife, it's a very realistic quiet anger
Yeah,
and everyone's mad as you would, and it's just like it's almost like I think I like it because the movie it's trying to be not the one it succeeds at being. It's because I'm you know what I mean. It's like I like the fact that it tried. It's experimenting with. Can we have a movie where no one's really deserving to be rooted for? Because no one they're being rooted for because the situation's on your side, but no one's doing anything to really earn it except for the grandma. I love the
oh my
grandma.
god, I love, yeah. I love the
Yeah.
grandma, and I love the other little girl, not the one that's possessed. I mean, she was great too, but
Yeah.
the little girl that she at the beginning of the movie, the mother's pregnant with,
Mhm.
um, she was fantastic. I love when she starts, she gets like proxy. She kind of gets like possessed, but not fully possessed. I'm not
Yeah.
entirely sure
Yeah.
how that works, and I don't really care. But, um, but yeah, she like goes to school and calls her
Yeah.
teacher a very rude name and all that. I love all that. I think I thought
Yeah.
that actress was great at being able to pull off like just being a little shit. I thought it was genuinely creepy when she smiles with the grandma's teeth in her mouth. Like,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
man, that was gross. And something that I'm surprised I didn't catch on to what was happening because in that. Well, we should talk about that funeral scene in general because I really like that scene. It's
The funeral scene was like the impetus for a lot of the story. Lee Cronin was writing this sadly after his mother passed, and he had the thought of the funeral scene when he's preparing for his mother's funeral. And
oh
he's
really?
He's an Irish dude, so the wakes are huge in Ireland. Um, and he didn't mean it like in a I'm gonna work through my trauma with this horror movie,
Mhm.
but it was just, he said it sort of just seeded his imagination. So like all the reason that's even there is because he had to go through that, not the possession part
Right.
in his real life. So which makes it, I think, so much better
Yeah.
and healthier because like we saw a very good funeral scene in Evil Dead Burn,
Yeah.
which is not showy offy. It's part of the
It's
story
almost the
and
opposite.
it's exactly, it's just
Right.
like the opposite. And apparently uh Lee Cronin had pitched an Evil Dead Rise Part 2 that does not Evil Dead Burn, and the part that he had was a funeral scene. As probably it's probably the scene he had for the Mummy then,
Mhm.
and it was just like, and so it was just somehow the silhouette of it made it into Burn. And knowing that it's based on like this guy's family trauma
Yeah.
makes the scene so much better because it is the most fun scene in the
Yeah.
whole movie.
Yeah, I think
Um,
this is the crown jewel of the movie is
yeah.
this scene. Yeah, so if you haven't seen it yet, the little girl at this point is like semi possessed.
Mhm.
And she's pretty much like being she's under control of the main mummy girl.
Yeah.
And she starts ripping her own teeth out in the middle of this funeral, and then she goes and visits grandma, and every almost every time we see the grandma, she does like a little bit with her teeth because her teeth are fake, so she's like always like popping them out and being silly with them with the kids. uh,
Which will grandparents do. Yeah.
Right, right. So we see her approach grandma's casket, and then she goes up to the family and her parents like, "Are you okay?" Because she's kind of got like blood coming down her mouth because she just pulled her teeth out, and then she smiles and she has just a full set of adult teeth in her mouth, and it is so gross and so creepy. It's
And it's like
probably
it's an uncanny valley thing
yeah,
because it's, oh, she has teeth,
yep,
they're just too big,
yeah,
and it's not pushing out on her lips like it's like it's someone wearing like Dracula teeth at Halloween.
hmm
For a second, I'm going, what's wrong with his? Oh God, because
yeah.
it
It's
hits
very
you. Yeah.
subtle.
Yeah.
Yeah, a kid theoretically could look like this, but
Yeah.
with the full context of everything, and like when you have that moment where it clicks in your brain, like, oh god, that
Yeah.
is so
Yeah.
gross. It's so scary. Um, yeah, very good scene.
And then mixed in with one of the foods that it's a funeral food. Whenever I see deviled eggs, I've always found that funny that that they're always at funerals. It's, you're in a
Yeah,
church and there's deviled eggs. As a little kid who when that wasn't a churchgoer, I would go along just basically for funerals.
it's deviled eggs at the funeral, and then when it's like a week later and you're feeling you like give food to the person who lost their loved one, it's always
Yeah,
lasagna.
yeah, it's a law. It is. It's scripture.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the kid has the deviled eggs, and I remember watching that, and I remember we're watching this. I'm thinking, oh, that's just like universal because it's, the guy's in Ireland. It's probably a bit from his, but it's also, it doesn't matter where you're from. It's Albuquerque. People make deviled eggs for funerals, and then I forget what the where it came from, but the kid like spurts blood. Is it
Yeah.
pulling her tooth? I think
Yep.
she's pulling her
hmm
tooth
Or
out,
she yeah, she
and it
spits it. She spits out like blood onto the
blood and it mists over the eggs, and it makes them
hmm
even more deviled eggs. And of course, everyone has to eat them then,
Yeah.
as because then these are extra
Extra, extra
paprika'd up,
devilly.
and they look like devil. I mean, there's not like in a certain film where like Dead Alive, where the food, you wouldn't touch the food. Like no one
Right.
should be full, no one should accidentally eat this. It just looks like they're a little overly seasoned. And then the vomiting, and then it's just one of
Oh,
those bits where, like, in a movie that I think that scene is probably what raises it up to being fun again. Because without that scene, it is just it's like deleted scenes from Evil Dead Rise. It is, they're in an upstairs apartment, they're going through the walkways and the catacombs, the house is weird
there's like doors to
layout.
the. There's like doors that let you into the walls, kind of.
Yeah, like crawl spaces, but I've never seen a house like that.
Yeah.
And maybe that's where insulation goes if it was built somewhere not in New Mexico.
Sure.
But yeah, but the funeral scene is just, and the funeral scene, it comes right after, which is weird. It's a big jump scare when the grandma gets thrown out the window, and after she's hung by a crucifix around, around
Yeah.
her neck,
The
and
rosary.
it,
Yeah.
the rosary. Thank you. Which right there is again Exorcist, then it's Phantasm,
Mhm.
and the window's an Exorcist throw, and it's just one of those things where it's almost like the guy wanted to work through, and again, more power to him. He wanted to work through some trauma. This is his take. He's never seen a movie this based on family grief like this. But let's make it more palatable. Let's just toss in the greatest hits of the last 15, 20 years of movies and have it be Evil Dead, have it be Exorcist, have it be Possession,
Hmm.
Um, and I bet you'll watch this one in a year and like it better. And I'll be
Yeah.
like, what was I fucking thinking? I'll probably like it less.
I was actually
You know?
thinking while I was watching it, I think I did myself a disservice by watching this so close to Evil Dead Burn, because I think Evil Dead Burn did such a great job with their themes,
Mhm.
and themes were not. I wouldn't say they're super similar. I mean, family obviously is
Mhm.
part of both themes, but one is a lot more critical of like family, and the other one is more. I think this movie this one, The Mummy, is more about um like seeking family, or like bringing
No.
family together through tragedy, whereas Burn is a lot of the opposite, where it's like
Yeah. And then again, Burn has the not only does it have the benefit of being Evil Dead, so we forgive it for having a big loud ending with power tools.
yeah.
And this one, it's like, okay, it's a family drama, hiding behind a mummy, not very well, and it's a possession story.
Hmm.
But it's like, first and foremost, it is a family tragedy. You don't get to have the chainsaw, the boomstick scene at
Yeah.
the end, because
No,
it's got to be more reserved.
it's
And I
literally. I mean,
and I
he's the big climax. He's like hugging her while
Mhm.
the cop is reading the chant. Like
Yeah,
it is not like an action
it is
sequence.
it is such a small internal
Hmm.
scene. And then the saddest thing, I don't remember from the movie because I might have just been sad. But then listen to the director talk about how the daughter, before she's abducted, they're doing Morse code,
Hmm.
the dot 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 kind of thing, and then the dad's going back and forth, and it's for like it's like a Girl Scout badge, or like, it's like a
Something.
sash badge, something. It's like it's a project kind of thing,
Hmm.
which is how later on you find out she's still in there, which kind of reminded me of Obsession, which is my movie of the year so far, when you can poke through when the person is possessed, can kind of like peek out, and I'm still
Yeah.
in here kind of thing, which just breaks your heart.
Hmm.
So at the end of the movie, it was supposed to end with the girls tapping on um the 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 sarcophagus. So the dad's inside, having take her place,
Hmm.
and he was tapping, is are you okay, kind of thing, and then you very quietly you hear him tapping back. um and I don't know. I think this is the director talking about how this is his original ending that was changed for the more fun one.
Sure.
He taps back, and then the mom goes, "Oh, hey, dad's okay." And then she's like, "Yeah, yeah, he's in there. He's still in there, so everything's good." But then somehow he was going to tell the audience that no, what the dad's tapping back is, "I'm on. It burns.
Oh
I'm on
shit.
fire." And then the daughter goes, "I know,"
Oh
and I'm like,
damn. That
"Oh
would have been
my god,
cool.
that would have been a great ending." But that's depressing, and I'm depressed thinking about it. Just the director talking about it with his Irish lilt.
Yeah.
I don't know how you would show that, because then like
No,
the audience
I almost,
isn't
I would almost not even like, don't explain it, because you just use actual Morse code, and if
yeah,
someone goes home and looks it up afterwards, like that'd be a real good like
yeah.
post
Well,
movie scare, just like, oh
yeah.
shit.
Oh, he said it, but then the burning part, because like you could play it off that, okay, Dad, I love you, and then did it, and then the mom says, "Oh, is he okay?" Yeah, he says okay,
Yeah.
and then her face has to be like she whispers, "I know." It's kind of like the end of Martyrs. What did the girl say to the person, I'm not going to spoil Martyrs now, but I love that ending.
Just
I
spoil
love
all
the
the
ending
movies.
that just every movie. And by the way, Rosebud is that no.
Bruce
I
Willis is
just
dead.
hey, leave Die Hard 2 alone. Um, the original ending for Hudson Hawk. Anyway, I love the ending they didn't do. I really like the ending they put on it. But it's one of those things where I think that's got to be what it was. Listen to the guy talk about it. I love the movie for taking this big swing of having a very sad, crazy Evil Dead kind of a movie, you know.
Mhm.
And I love that the scientist that the tapes are being played. I think it's the last name as the archaeologist from the Evil Dead sequels, the
Yep.
reboots, which is to me is like, yeah, go for it. I mean, let them have this. You know,
Yeah.
this legally it's not there. It's not like no one's named Ash Williams, and no one's expecting Bruce to show up at the end of it. But I like it how it's adjacent, and I don't. But I was reading one deep thread how the Mummy is the secret linchpin between all the other Evil Dead movies. Um, that's the Kandarian is actually mislabeled and it's actually Egyptian, and I'm like, don't go there.
Yeah.
That's not. Don't have the book show up. It doesn't need to have any of that. This is the nice little nod.
But
Um,
well, and another comparison I want to bring to this movie is Bring Her Back. Um,
oh wow.
and that also is in the same universe as Talk to Me, but they
Mhm.
don't touch each other very much at all. It's just like, oh, I could see that this could be a similar situation, much like this. I like that this kept it that subtle. I like that it's like, oh, this could take place in the same universe as Evil Dead,
Mhm.
but it's not like hitting you in the head with it. But yeah,
I,
this
li- I
movie. Go ahead.
that's a good pull. I like that.
Yeah, I this movie the whole time I was watching, I was like thinking about Bring Her Back and how much I love that movie, and I almost wonder if that's the double feature for this one is Bring Her Back. I don't know if because they're both they're similar, but way different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you wouldn't get tired of the theme.
Yeah, yeah.
I
It's not.
no, I think that's a good double feature. But which one's first? Which one's second?
I think you got to do. I just because I think it's a better movie. I think you got to do or Bring Her Back second.
Yeah.
Because I think if I'm finished watching Bring Her Back, I think The Mummy is going to be a slog.
Yeah.
But if I'm watching The Mummy, in preparation to watch Bring Her Back, then I think
Mhm.
I think it works that way better.
But what if you, before you do watch it, you go learn Morse code and you have them put on that director's ending with the tapping on the sarcophagus?
Yeah.
No,
That would.
it's still that one still first, but yeah, because I love the very super sad ending for Bring Her Back,
Yes.
which is also incredibly uplifting and positive.
Yeah, yeah, it's a beautiful ending. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like soul crushing, but also like you just said, it's just it's a great ending.
Yeah.
And I think that if you could bake in the Morse code situation in a way that like isn't on the nose, like without adding subtitles.
Yeah, that's the only thing is I can't figure out how they would. And I played the interview back again. I don't. He doesn't say. God, I just love that ending. I love the
Yeah.
fact that the dad's not only is he saying how bad it is, but the daughter is there for him, and she's taking it on her. So the dad's trapped, but also the daughter's trapped because she also knows what he's going through, and no one else knows what he's going through.
Mhm.
It's so good.
I'm
But now
also,
I want to bring her back now because
I
that's
know,
also
did we do an episode on that? I think we did.
yeah.
Let's say maybe we should do an episode on that again. No. Maybe when Talk to Me 2 comes out. You think that's
Is
gonna
it
be
not?
called
Is
Talk
please don't be called
2
Talk
with the
to
number 2?
me.
Yeah, I was just
It
thinking
will
that,
be.
and
It will be.
it'll be the hand, but with the two fingers out. uh,
I haven't seen the new.
don't let that be a thing.
I haven't seen Scary Movie 6, but that's got to be in there. I mean, there has to
Oh,
be
sure.
a Talk to Me hand in there somewhere. I do want to see it. Um, I just it's now that we're talking about, and I was sitting there because last week when we discussed Evil Dead Burn,
Mhm.
you had a point towards the end where you kind of said you liked it more now after discussing it, and I think I like this movie less now.
No, no.
No, and they have my money. I already rented it.
Sure.
And I might even pick up the disc because I like the guy's the commentaries interview. The accent is so like soothing, but I'd love to hear him talk about this because then he can talk about the movie that he didn't quite make, he tried to make, and that's fascinating to me
Yeah, yeah.
because there's more to it. It's kind of like It's like talking about obsession again. It's like what went into it to get to that, and like it's just you can learn more from a near miss than an actual bullseye. Yeah, but even now I'm sitting here, I'm kind of blurring Evil Dead Burn and the Mummy, but I'm also old age senility.
No, I'm doing it
But
too.
yeah,
Sorry.
they could cut off a good 30 minutes, and usually I say like 10 minutes, but it's like it wouldn't even be. It's a dense movie. There's no like long shots. There's no lingering. All the
Yeah.
scenes, all the scenes are cut to the bone. There's just so many. There's so much going on.
Right. It's not wasting time. It's just there's just too much in there.
This is like one of the few times I'd probably say this would make a good 4 episode series. Like make it even longer and give it like 3 act breaks and have it be a 4 episode
Yeah, like a mini series.
a mini
They don't
series
do
because then
that
you
anymore.
could. Um, I
What's up
mean,
with
I
that?
mean, I mean, the Road to Dairy kind of thing.
Yeah, I
Um,
guess not. Yeah, I guess streaming
Streaming will
services are
do it,
kind
but
of the
yeah, that's kind of like, and I could see like a Flanagan kind of show, but this one, it'd be like you could, I, it's like they did hold back on the real sad stuff, so people wouldn't just like walk out of the theater crying and bawling and whatever.
yeah.
But like people will put up with like real misery at home because that's where it comes from. Um, but I could see, but then you would have to have a different title. It wouldn't fly
Yeah.
as the Mummy. It'd have to be something like just really innocuous, kind of a
Right. And
um,
that would be just a whole new goal that the movie, this movie isn't trying to traumatize you. It's trying to gross you out for the most part.
yeah, yeah.
And it's trying to like, it is sad, but
Fingernails, it does, yeah.
yeah, toenails, yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
toenails.
why same complaint I have with Sam Raimi, Sam Raimi's characters. Uh, why can no one close their mouth? Like, just close your mouth. There's a bug crawling up your arm towards your mouth. Just close your mouth. Everyone's just like,
Um,
ah.
if people have nose problems, I can't think of anything.
No.
But I love the toenail thing was based because the director's sister is like a foot doctor
Oh,
who
really?
specialized in that, and then she would horrify him by telling him horror stories about feet.
Ugh.
He's like, I'm gonna get you back. I'm gonna put this in a movie, and I'm just like, you guys can have therapy amongst yourselves. Yeah,
Yeah, if feet gross you out, this movie will definitely fuck you up
yeah,
because there's so much foot stuff in this movie that is just disgusting. It's so
yeah.
upsetting. The one that really threw me off guard was when the grandma comes back to life and she like stomps on the cop and she's got this gross bloated foot. Just like what the hell is going on here?
Just like that's a very that's a muscle memory. The director's like he knew someone stomped on him at some point, with a foot. He's just scarred him for life.
Yeah.
Uh,
Ugh. Um.
but yeah,
Go ahead.
I dug the hell out of it. And when I eventually pick it up, used copy, it will go on the shelf next to the Evil Dead series.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll put it like an addendum next to it, or will I put it in order? Like I don't know where it would fall, and it's not like a ranking. I mean, I'm joking out. It's the second best Evil Dead movie of the year, but I'm like, I think it would definitely if when I do a rewatch of the Evil Dead, it'll be in there after Rise.
Yeah.
To put a little more space um, before Burn with the Lily Sullivan cameo. But yeah, I think if like if I was really a jerk, I would take it. And I would make a new case for it and call it Lee Cronin's Evil Dead Mummy, or
Yeah.
Mummy of the Evil Dead, something.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. What?
but I wonder now. Here's my question: so you went into it knowing very little,
Mhm.
with high expectations. I wonder if they hadn't called it Lee Cronin's The Mummy and just called it um, um, Curse of Cairo or something terrible like that.
Sure.
Would have I had that underdog cheering on going into it, and where I would like it, like I'd want to like it so much. Like this is not their fault that they give it the title to try and differentiate and give a little bit of IP value to it.
Yeah.
Would have I liked it as much if it was an underdog? I'm trying to think if I would or not, because and it's almost like in the last couple of years with let me talk to me, bring her back,
The two
obsession. Yeah,
movies to remember.
it just but there's such silly like bring her back. I didn't well then
As
send help.
oh sure,
I
yeah,
still can't
yeah.
remember that one. Yeah, it's Island of the Evil Dead. But I wonder if it didn't have the underdog status going for it, would have I ranked it as high, as enjoyed it as much as I did? I don't know. I think I'm admitting that I'm an easy target for like a sappy underdog.
I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's I wish I think I wish I went in with that context a little bit more than I did because uh I don't know. Yeah, I want to say that I didn't hate this movie by any means. It's just like I think there's just a lot where I was just like, I wish there was just a little bit more. I just wish I wanted a
Yeah.
little bit more. And I think again, I think that part of that is because it is so close to Evil Dead, and I had just watched Evil Dead Burn, which gave me exactly what I wanted.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
In terms of like themes and just kind of having a lot of meat on the bones. And this
Oh,
just
here's the one deleted scene when all the skin gets pulled off and they lay it down, they rearrange it. It's the Necronomicon.
oh shit,
There you go.
in its
It is the
entirety.
book of the. It is. That's what they're. Are you happy now?
Oh
Do you
my
love it now?
god. Yeah.
That
Actually,
actually would be kind of. That would be kind of cool. Actually.
um that is interesting. I didn't even think that's another parallel there is the writing on skin
Mhm.
on flesh is I think we were talking it's a little bit long. I think if you did want to shave some stuff off, you could easily get rid of everything with the professor and the I think that's really creepy.
Yeah.
The writing on the inside of the skin is really upsetting.
Yeah.
But all of that was explained by the tape anyways, so you really didn't
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
that double
And then
explanation.
that was the one thing that, as far as the scripting goes, the script when they go to him and they're talking to, and I like the bit where you can't if you're a reporter, it's already been taken care of. But when they go, here's a language that's been lost for 3,000 years, and the guy goes, I need like 3 weeks to figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you're not that good of a no one's that good of a professor. It's a community college kind of thing. But yeah, I'd forgotten all about the whole professor subplot. That could have been taken out,
Mhm.
and the cop could have showed up from Egypt and like had learned that on her own.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have thought twice about it. She could have showed up with an Necronomicon and said, right here, don't say it out loud, and I would have been fine with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh
And the VHS tapes. I mean, some of that could have been. It does add to it, and
yeah,
but
so
I would rather be. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there that could have just been pulled.
I kept thinking like this was supposed to be set in modern day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody just tell Lee Cronin that they have like modern technology in Egypt. like why the computer that the cop uses is like CRT and then the VHS tape that VCRs and stuff. It's like you could have like she could have showed up with a thumb drive, or something. Like it's very bizarre that like the hospital looks like it was from like I don't know. like
Yeah, yeah.
the 40s. It was
Now,
very
what?
bizarre.
Yeah, because I don't remember that ever saying this is a certain year at all. But yeah, they're just going for a certain style. But I never. I always take it as just being, oh well, it's underfunded. Like the cops are
Sure.
always. No, they don't have money in most towns. Well, now of course they do. But yeah,
Well, in America, I don't I think they're funded just fine.
yeah, yeah,
Not to get too political here, but um but yeah, this is something else I noticed that I thought was kind of funny was the
yeah.
how archaic they made Egypt look. Um I don't know. Okay, this is actually a question for you.
Oh,
Was the scene where the grandma dies, was that supposed to be funny?
I don't. I don't think it was supposed to be, and I think they shot it to be serious, and I think they edited it to be exciting, right? To
Yeah.
try and make it to make it like a jump scare, kind of a thrill out of it.
Hmm.
But it was really
It
fucking
was
funny.
so funny. Like, when it cuts to
But
her
again,
getting eaten by the dogs, I was like, I was laughing, but then I was like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be laughing right now.
but it's kind of like weapons, right? If you but see weapons, there was building up. It was very funny until you're allowed to laugh.
Hmm.
If you don't give the audience a laugh, like to relieve the pressure,
Yeah.
they'll laugh at the wrong things.
Right.
So I bet you if you were to watch it again, you wouldn't laugh at that scene because there was an hour and 40 minutes before that
Yeah.
of just because you have to relieve the pressure. Going back forever to make myself look like a jackass. In college, we're a bunch of us theater types. We're seeing Schindler's List. That's not, yeah, Schindler's List, and it's not a funny
Not a
movie.
comedy.
Obviously not a comedy. And we're sitting there and we're very we're watching it. And we're kind of like, oh, I need a cigarette because this is a lot.
Hmm.
And I'm probably like 19 or 20, so I'm not even sure how to like really process the whole thing. And there's a scene when the kids they hide in the latrines, the porta potties, from the guys who they're picking people to go, execute. And I'm just like, this is the worst thing ever. And the guy next to me, who's not the most emotionally aware guy in the world, so the kids dive into and they're sitting there in the bottom of the toilets, and he leans over and goes, "At least it's warm."
What?
Yeah, at least it's warm because it's cold. And I just made the reaction you did. I fucking laugh because I haven't blinked in 2 hours this movie.
Yeah.
Everyone looks at me and
Oh no.
I'm like, oh my God, I look like the come on. I'm
You
not,
probably
and
look like you're like, oh, they're in poop.
I'm like, oh, look at those, look at those guys. They couldn't even get, oh yeah. And I know I did. 'Cause I remember hiding my face and I was so mad at the guy. And then, I was very immature.
That is a wild thing to say, though.
Oh, it's just, you have intrusive thoughts. You don't say them out loud. And
Right.
the problem was it was so wrong.
Mhm.
And I had to laugh because like, why would you, I was probably laughing more at him saying it, but
Yeah,
also I was
exactly.
just, yeah. And I had to apologize to the theater in the lobby and over more than I needed to, but I had to
Oh,
apologize to
this
people.
was in theaters.
This was in theaters. I
Oh,
was in a movie
Oh,
theater
that's rough.
when this asshat did this to me. So so in the cinema, and then the next day, the next Monday at class, I had to say it again, and I had to say the entire preamble, and they all kind of go, "Yeah, he's an asshole." I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
but I wasn't. And then that's probably why I always remember the pressure story. We had like an aesthetics class, and there's like you kind of need to build up and have a joke in there because if you don't put a joke in, they will laugh at something else.
Yeah,
You
that's
know.
interesting. That's something I
So
didn't
maybe
know.
if you just tell someone, yeah, the grandma dying scene, I laughed my ass off. It's like, wait, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
No, it's because there wasn't anything. It's not like you need to have a haha,
Hmm.
but sometimes it's like just a little bit of a Jaws has got jokes in it
Sure.
when it's getting too much, and it's not meant to be. You'll laugh your ass off because you're just like when the guy goes, not fast fish. I'm always laughing at that. It's just because you're scared of the shark coming up.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, like, in contrast to that, I think the funeral scene is supposed to be fun. And, like,
Yeah, for some weird reason. Yeah.
yeah, I think you are supposed to laugh in that moment. It's
Well,
just,
because the grandma's friends are the funniest
yeah,
things.
I love them so much because I know those people in real life, just
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
shit about the dead body, looking like they have Botox.
They're processing. This is how they deal with grief. Yeah.
Sure,
Oh my
sure.
God.
But yeah, I was just curious if you also found that scene to be funny, inappropriately funny.
Yeah. And I remember laughing at that a little bit and not feeling bad about it. Whereas Schindler's List, I rightfully still felt bad about that.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Um,
You should tell that story as often as possible, just in case like anybody that was there that day just so happens to hear it. Then you're just like, oh, okay,
I literally in the lobby, an hour later told the story, explained to the people I was with loudly,
Mhm.
so people walking
Yeah,
by would
yeah,
hear. And I had to be the biggest dick
yeah.
because I'm saying it. I'm like, yeah. So when he said it, you looking at me over here. You know what I'm. Okay, that wasn't. But it's just because everyone did look back. I mean, again, 30 years of memory, all the faces looking at me.
Yeah, remind me to tell you when we're not recording a great story about my mom coming out of a theater. I would tell it on the podcast, but I don't think she would appreciate it. But very similar.
So she's seeing Birth of a Nation, and
Yeah, yeah. She's not
okay,
that old.
well they had a re-release. She's
Oh,
my
right,
age. I should make jokes. No, but I do think that this is one that I think I like for what it's trying to be more than actually what it is, which is like a line from Jerry Maguire.
Sure.
Um, no, but I mean, I do. This is one that I have talked about. Like, people, if you've seen it, I'll give it a try. But now looking at the 2.5 hours, it's up there a ways.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I think we could probably get into recommendations at this point. And I hesitate to recommend it without the caveat of like it's long.
Yeah.
It feels long. There are movies that are 2.5 hours that are perfect that don't
Mhm.
feel like they're 2.5 hours long. This one you're gonna check the runtime at one point or another.
Yeah.
Um, to the point where I was glad I didn't see it in theaters because I was able to pause it and grab a snack and use the
And have
bathroom.
it sandwich. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, just gotta step away from it for a little bit because it's long and it's not miserable, but it does lack levity.
Yeah.
I think there are moments earlier on that are trying to be kind of funny, and some of it works, some of it doesn't. I think a really funny moment early on is when watching himself on the news, and his son
Yeah.
starts making fun of him and the way he moves his hands. And then we see his perspective again, and the camera's just like zoomed in on his hands, like he's just like
Yeah.
just watching his own hands. That was really funny.
I remember thinking, did that pay off later on? Was there
I
his
thought it was
hands?
going to too.
Like, is this such? But no, it was just a neat moment. So
Yeah,
again, I give
just a
it
little
give it
silly
credit for
little-
not being cliche. It wasn't like
Sure.
at the end his hands shaking that kills the mummy. But yeah,
You gotta be somatic with the that's the mummy's weakness.
I do. I am gonna pick up this DVD. No, I'm gonna lie. I'm gonna Blu-ray. I have
Hell
mine.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal it from anyway. Just for the commentary to see what he talks about, because there's enough here that I really did really enjoy, and unfairly it's compared to Evil Dead Burn. I will watch Evil Dead Burn again in a moment just to enjoy it. But I'm gonna rewatch The Mummy to figure out the craft of it. For some reason, that's more intriguing. A movie that didn't quite work, you know.
Yeah,
But
I feel
but
like
I'm gonna watch them both again, obviously, because
Sure.
I don't like to read, or nor can I.
Yeah, if I were to watch this again, it would be with commentary, because I like that interesting perspective, and I think I don't know if I've ever like specifically sought out a movie to listen to the commentary because I want to hear from a director who like wasn't able to quite make what they wanted to make. Like this was, I feel
Yeah.
like it's pretty on its sleeve. This was supposed to be a follow up to Evil Dead Rise, that he wasn't able to do, so he kind of did his own thing, his own little mix.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it would be a very interesting commentary for sure.
Yeah. I'm glad that they let him record it.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think if I've ever had a commentary. There are movies I've only watched the commentary repeatedly. I never watched
listened to
I
it.
never like I've watched the movie once and I watched the commentary repeatedly time. Like the Tom Savini's Night of the Living Dead. I've seen it 5, 6, 7 times, but I know I listen to the commentary all the time.
Yeah.
For some reason, it was just how I slept at night. I just enjoyed his energy and how much he celebrated, everyone in that movie. But yeah, I would recommend this one. Dude, I'm with you on a double feature to Bring Her Back. Watch this and then watch Bring Her Back if you have a very morose night.
Yeah.
Next time you bury a loved one, afterward at the reception,
Yeah.
watch The Mummy and Bring Her Back.
Yeah, if you want the combination of gross things going into mouths and then mouth trauma.
Yeah.
And,
Very much, yeah.
That's a good combo there.
Oh, now I'm stuck on because Bring Her Back was so hard to watch second time. Oh man.
I still haven't seen
Anyway,
it. I'm waiting
that,
for Becky to be ready for it, and then we're gonna watch it with her.
I rewatched it for the show, and then I thought, oh, this will be easy. The second time, being, oh, it's so much worse knowing what happens in 10 seconds, in 9 seconds, in 7 seconds, in 6 seconds.
Just counting it down.
Okay, now here's the thing. Okay, for people who have watched this far, drop us a line. Let us know if the fact that he didn't choose to call it Lee Cronin's The Mummy, or if the title makes any difference in your appreciation or derivation of the film.
Yeah.
I'm curious if did it help you find the movie, or is it,
Right. My fear is because did you ever watch 10 Cloverfield Lane?
Yes.
I loved that movie, but I felt like the title kind of ruined it, because there's no sign of aliens until like the very end.
Yeah, I would have loved, spoiler alert, I would have loved to have
Yeah.
not known if it was 10 Lovers Lane.
Right.
I would have loved it. Yeah.
The problem is though, it's like I probably wouldn't have watched it if it didn't have the Cloverfield title on it. So I feel similar to this one where it's like, yeah, I probably would have liked it more if it was called something else, but I don't know if I would have watched it. If it was titled something else, but I don't know. But yeah, that's a great question. Give us your thoughts on that, and if you want to let us know what you think, you can hit us up on all of our social medias down below there at TDMMVI pod at all of your social medias, and you can also email us directly at tdmmvipod@gmail.com. Yeah.
So good at that. You're so good at that.
Thank you. I practice in the shower sometimes. But yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the tapes.
Next week, hopefully, still waiting to hear back, but I'm pretty certain next week we're going to be covering. I just completely forgot the name of the movie. Sleepaway Camp. Yeah, that's the one. My brain was like, my initial brain thought was Halloween for some reason, and then I couldn't escape that. Like it was just like, no, it's Halloween. No, a sleepaway camp with my brother. I think that's gonna be a super fun episode.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that movie so much, and I haven't seen it in so long, so I'm really excited to revisit it. Um, but yeah, until then, I'm Jesse Spitzer,
And I'm Jerry Lees.
and this has been The Devil Made Me View It. Thanks for watching.
All right, thanks, guys.